Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky regular meeting, City Hall, June 17, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. We're going to begin tonight with the invocation and pledge allegiance, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Sue Perigin.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a special guest tonight to say a prayer. These families, our police department, and our community at large have suffered a couple great losses. And retired Major Mark Johnson, who served our police department from 1980 to 2004. That's 24 good years that he served our community. And the Master Police Officer Dale Barbia lost his battle on June 14th, having served since 2008. So Chaplain Andy Topes is here has served the city of Bowling Green for the past 8 years. Andy retired from active ministry for 40 years, ending with a 13-year career at the Lutheran Church and School on Nashville Road. He served as a chaplain for over 10 local, state, and federal agencies. So I want to welcome Chaplain Topes up here to bless us. Thank you. Please stand.
Bow your heads. Father God, we come before you tonight, and we especially ask that you would be with the police department as we mourn the passing of Dale and Mark. And we pray, Lord, that you would be with their families, especially during these difficult days. We thank you for the opportunity to work with them, to let them be a part of the community here, and we celebrate their part of the community. We pray that you would be with all of our first responders in this community, keep them safe, watch over them, put a hedge of protection around them each and every day. And Lord, we give you thanks for this community, for all that it does to support their first responders as well. Be with us, watch over us, and keep us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Say the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chaplain.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Chaplain. At this time, would Mrs. Spiller, would you please do a roll call?
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Mayor Alcott.
Here. Thank you, Mrs. Spiller. Mr. Meisel, do you have comments at this time?
I do have a couple, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to ask Talia Butler, our downtown coordinator, to come up, and we've got some recognition of some sponsors we'd like to do. So, Talia.
Thank you very much. We are here to thank all of those who have donated to the Better BGKY nonprofit and to Duncan Hines Days for all of the events in downtown this spring. We're going to start with Fountain Row Friday. This is the second time this series has happened. It ran from the second week of May and goes to this last Friday of June on Friday nights on Fountain Square. Blue Level Productions brought the event to the city for the first time last fall and is bringing it again to us this fall, later on this year. Sponsors are both monetary and in-kind donors, and we have to thank City Parks and Rec staff for also giving assistance with those. So special thank you to JB Electric, the Bowling Green Amplify Foundation, and Bowling Green Rock Band Academy, whose students are also featured every week along with the bands with these concerts. White Squirrel Brewery, who hosts the shows when the rain is in the forecast and has been a great host. Morris Jewelry, Meltdown Ice Cream, Mellow Mushroom, The Print Shop, Back Down South, Prestige Lounge and Nightclub, 440 Main, and LED Marquee of Bowling Green. The next list of sponsors here belongs to Duncan Hines Days. It returned for year 3 a couple weeks ago, and the full community impact report is almost ready, but I can go ahead and announce we had over 12,000 people attend events throughout the week from at least 17 states that were tracked through our ticketed partners. And even with multiple days of rain impact and some cancellations of events, we're all very pleased with the turnout. All the sponsors listed here are either monetary or in-kind kind or provided some kind of service to bring the event to life. And they all care very deeply about this community, and they want to make our city a better place. And several of them are here tonight. So if I say your name, wave and say cool, right? So community sponsors include Three Springs Hospitality Management Group, who also hosted our entertainers and production crews overnight. Houchins Food Group, who connected us to ConAgra Foods that had another 6,000 boxes of baking mix donated to give away at all of these events. Atmos Energy. Yellowberry created our website. The Capitol hosted 2 events for us during the week. Graves Gilbert Clinic has a new affinity for the recreation events. Clark Beverage Group, Beach Holdings and the Beachy Bridge. First Bank, who also brought volunteers to work our downtown kickoff night events. L81, who brought soda to new events for us. Flora Templeton Stewart brought the Kids Zone to life at Eats and Beats Music Fest. Lost River Sessions. Crowd South did social media with us. The Southern Kentucky Hospitality Association. Reynolds Ceiling and Striping. VidMonster helped with video production and concert video walls. The Warren County Public Library supported the entertainment throughout the week. The MoveWell team also supported our recreation events, along with Med Center Health, BGMU, and Stuart Ritchie Service Group that brought a cooling station to Eats and Beats Day. And Blue Level Productions organized the entire stage and production entertainment for the entire week. These folks listed up here are all the ones who participated or actively planned or hosted events for us all over Bowling Green and Warren County. We couldn't do this without all of our city staff. Thank you to everyone in the city that helped bring these to life, and also to Warren County for its sponsorship and its staff as well. Everyone from county stormwater to emergency management services, county parks and rec, and the sheriff's office, and the inmate crews who helped us set up and break down the main stage at the music festival. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet staff helped us close downtown streets, and the following sponsors actually hosted their events on site. We had the Bowling Green Hot Rods with a new Duncan Hines night home game. Bike Walk Bowling Green hosted a new Bike Ride and Dine and Cakewalk Club event. Tess Event Consulting helped coordinate our food and beverage offerings and entertainers all week. The Bowling Green Trolley brought a new Duncan Hines impersonator aboard and a new Dolly Trolley experience. The National Corvette Museum had a scavenger hunt. SkyPack attended multiple events this year for the first time. South Union Shaker Village in Logan County even participated, along with Hobson Grove Historic House Museum. The Bowling Green Chamber offered us their building for the Emergency Ops Center and Green Room at the Eats and Beats Music Fest and promoted our events on its social media. The Historic Rail Park and Train Museum offered themed Duncan tours all week. WKU parking and transportation staff ran the downtown parking structure and offered a free shuttle from campus to downtown to anyone attending downtown events on Eats and Beats Day. Hotel Inc. participated and hosted an event and volunteered to work the Emergency Ops Center on Eats and Beats Day. And 10 Fountain Square businesses opened up special for a live-action Candyland game at the Fountain Square block party, and 10 additional downtown businesses offered Duncan-themed items on their menu in cocktails or in merchandise throughout the week. And last but not least, thank you to all of our Bowling Green media. These are the people who tell the stories of our community and all of its amazing characters. Between over 30 interviews, over 40 stories, and 1,000 minutes of airtime between radio and TV, this is the Bowling Green Duncan Hines story and community development at its core. And save the date for June 1st through 7th, 2026. And thanks to everyone who came out and attended Duncan Hines Days events in year 3. And thanks again to all of our sponsors for bringing this to life with us.
Just a couple more things, Mayor. If you're in the audience and would like to make public comments, please sign the register in the back corner of the room. We'll take those up after the regular session. And then lastly, there is a need for a closed session. I'd like to ask Hope to read the reason.
Pursuant to KRS 61.810(1)B for the purpose of deliberations on the future acquisition of property for future city needs and sale of real property to be used for economic development, as publicity would likely affect the value of this specific piece of property to be acquired and sold by the city.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Any discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Before we begin, I know Talia is out in the hallway already. And if she is, just grab her real quick. Yes, please. First of all to our corporate sponsors, we're grateful. I mean, this is what makes us a community that is beyond any other community I've ever been a part of. And we are investing back into our tourism and bringing that back to our community and recognizing an icon of the past. So Talia, I just want to say thank you very much for your hard work for the 3rd annual Duncan Hines Days. Congratulations, and we look forward to the future success of this event. All right, moving on with our meeting. Approval of our minutes for regular meeting, June 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Any discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-134.
Municipal order approving amendments to the Administrative Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
Time to time, we need to make some tweaks and revisions to our personnel manual. Before you tonight are roughly 12 changes to the personnel policy that Aaron Holsey, our HR director, has worked on. In your packets, you have a nice summary chart showing those 12 items with the various chapters that they're in. And Aaron is here, can answer any questions, but we are asking for your approval for this revision.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-135.
Municipal order approving the promotions of Elvana Janae Lowe to the position of Office Associate 2 in the Police Department.
So moved.
Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So sorry.
Sorry. Oh my God, there's 30 of them.
Courtney Borland, Laura Mann, and Lenora McLaughlin to the position of Administrative Assistant in the Police Department. Karen McGee to the position of Administrative Assistant in the Parks and Recreation Department. Teresa Hendrick and Angela McCarley to the position of Administrative Assistant in the Human Resources and Risk Management Department. And Buffy Watt to the position of Administrative Assistant in the Fire Department.
So move.
I'll second that. Or you want to keep that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. That was by Melinda, seconded by Dana. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to ask Aaron Holsey, our HR director, to come up and present these career path promotions. Aaron?
Great, good afternoon. Thank you for approving the changes to the policy manual because that allowed me to come up and to present some promotions. So as you noticed on the policy manual, there were actually 3 changes to career paths. I hope that you noticed that we are paying close attention to that. This is one I've been chasing for a little bit. We have really the heart of all of our departments, our administrative staff, and we've had some positions, but we have not been able to always connect them. And so this past year, we met as senior management team, and we decided on a way that we would agree to connect our administrative staff from going from grade 1 to 3, now to 5, following that same career path. And so in order to be now promoted to an administrative assistant, they would need the recommendation of the department head, the recommendation of the finance department if they are a POE, and as well as serving at least 6 years in their department in that administrative position. And so since that will be effective July 1st, and we are working on doing the pay increases in our payroll system, we wanted to go ahead and get these approved now. So these will be effective July 1st. Very excited, and most of them are with us here tonight. And as you can see from the crowd, there's a lot of support here because they keep us in line. They do so much for our city, for our departments, and honestly, the longer someone is with us, the more institutional knowledge that they have. They understand the nuances of the department. They are so valuable when they get to that point in their career with the city, and so we were really grateful to be able to add another step into their career path as well. So, if you ladies would please stand as I call your name. Janae from the police department, Janae Lowe. Buffy Watt from the fire department is going to administrative assistant. Karen McGee from the parks department. Lenora McLaughlin from police. Laura Mann from police. Courtney Borland from police could not be with us tonight. Angela McCarley and Teresa Hendrick from the human resources department. So please congratulate them, and just know that we are so grateful. These people and these employees are very, very valuable to our city. Let me know if you have any questions.
I say you have stars amongst us because these are phenomenal employees already, and we wish you congratulations and thank you for your continued endeavor and professionalism to our city. And we thank you for your professionalism and your career as you progress with us. So, commissioners?
Congrats.
And who brought family with you? Because we want you to introduce your family. Angela, you want to start?
This is my right-hand girl, Jada.
Hi, Jada.
14, and she's very intrigued by city and city events, so she wanted to be here with me today.
Thank you.
Buffy.
Who wants to wave to their family on TV?
If I may, I think this is a fine example. We as people, we don't get to choose our families, but Buffy, here's a fine example of this firefighter family that came out to support you. So, nope, don't do that. But thank you all for supporting her. Thank you to everyone for being here. And Jada, you helped us with our Christmas event. So, yes, so thank you. But congratulations to all of you all.
All right. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, congratulations.
They were all here for her.
That's amazing.
They were all here for her.
Samir means business. Samir means business. This is all the way.
They all love her.
That's so sweet. So sweet. Oh, man, this is going to be long.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, municipal order number 2025-136.
Municipal order authorizing and approving coverage by North River Croom Forester for employee health care specific stop-loss insurance coverage for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
As you know, the city is self-funded when it comes to our health insurance plan. And each year we go out and we try to find coverage for our, what we call our stop loss. And so before you tonight, we've had to make some minor changes, but we've had a couple of not so good years as far as claims go. And so we raised our deductible from $250,000 to $300,000 to be able to go out to the market and find some interested parties. After doing that, raising it to the $300,000, we got two proposals, and the one we think we need to contract with is the North River Crum and Forester offer. We are looking at about $152,000 increase from prior year, but as you know, we are growing as we get more employees on our plan and families. That comes with some increase in costs, but we think we can manage this. This is already built into your FY26 budget and the healthcare plan fund, and ask for your vote or your approval of going with North River Crum and Forster for the stop loss insurance coverage. Aaron Holsey is here, can answer any questions you might have on this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-137.
Municipal order authorizing insurance premium payments to the Kentucky League of Cities Insurance Services for insurance coverages of general liability, public officials liability, law enforcement liability, automobile liability, and physical damage, property, and workers' compensation for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'd like to thank Dave Weisbrot for preparing the memo that's in your packets tonight, but if you'll refer to that memo, there is a nice Table 1 chart in your packets summarizing the 7 or 8 categories that we're talking about here on insurance coverage. Your first category, the general liability, we're looking at a 14% increase. Automobile liability is 7% overall increase. Automobile physical damage is a 25% increase, and then public officials liability is a 6% increase. Law enforcement liability is going up by 45%. Property building contents is going up 16%, and then our workers' comp, we're seeing an increase of 27%. Overall, we're looking at dollar-wise increase of $274,000. Most of these policies are with Kentucky League of Cities Insurance Services, and we try to cut costs whenever we can, tweak the deductibles up or down, and so we feel like we've done all we can. Dave has worked on this really hard with our rep Chris Wiseman at Houchins Insurance Group that works with KLC Insurance Services. And so we feel like this is going to be the best options on each category that we can take. And again, we've worked all of this into the FY26 budget. So Dave is here, can answer your questions on this. But Dave worked really hard on this. We met once or twice with Aaron as well. And we feel like we've made some good changes to lower our cost as much as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Dave, Aaron, thank you also for your work, time.
We've just got, another thing I didn't mention, we've just got more stuff. We've got a $20 million training center getting ready to open that we have to have coverage on. So it's things like that. sidewalks, liability, so it all adds up. Vehicles, equipment, I could go on and on, but I'll stop.
Commissioners? Questions? Questions at this time? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-138.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2025-42 for demolition and sinkhole repair contract from Scott and Ritter, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $230,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Frequently, we go out every year or two and solicit bids for our sinkhole mitigation and our demolition needs that we come across. And so we did that again for the next 2 years. We received 3 proposals. These are evaluated bids, and the scoring is in your packets. There's around 32 categories that we give scores to. That's all summarized in your packet. And when all the dust settled, Scott and Ritter came out with the most total points, and we're recommending Scott and Ritter for a total contract price of, we're going to start with $230,000 and hope that's enough this time around. This usually is $130,000, but with the recent events and all of the sinkholes we're seeing, we have increases for the FY26 budget to $230,000. So roughly $200,000 for sinkhole repairs, $30,000 for demolition when we need it. Brent Childers is here, can answer any questions on this. Nick Lawhon as well for the sinkhole repairs, and ask for your approval. Scott and Ritter, not to exceed $230,000.
I have a question, Jeff, if that's okay. We substantially went over that this past year because of because we had to. And I wonder if that, does that automatically, does that go to bid again if we go over? I think the bent tree, the single tree way thing set us back.
Yeah, I'll let Brent take this one.
No, since you approved up to a maximum, Public Works came back to increase that maximum because of the extensive sinkholes from the flooding. The current contract expires at the end of this month. So what you're approving tonight is a new contract starting July 1. So this is separate from that increase. We were going to do this no matter what,
Right,
just
right. I
because the
get that.
contract expires.
Yeah, I get that. I guess I didn't ask my question very clearly. I know I didn't. Would it be Scott and Ritter, if we go over this time, do they automatically receive the increased business?
Yes, we will negotiate with them as part of that increase because they are our vendor for demolition and sinkhole. So we have publicly procured that. We will be in contract with them to provide those services on behalf of the city of Bowling Green, whether it be Neighborhood and Community Services or Public Works. They will be our vendor. And this is a relationship we've had for several years, and we're very pleased to have them as a partner as we do this.
Typically, in the past, we haven't really gone over, but this last year was pretty serious.
I will point the blame at Public Works for that,
Well-
but I'm just saying, we stayed within ours, so I'm just saying that's a Public Works issue, so.
Well, I know most of us, I know I did. I personally visited that job site that put us over,
Right,
and that was money well spent.
Yeah, this is a contract we've had for a number of years, and this year was really in a whole class by itself, and the amount, but the weather and everything that impacted it just changed the trajectory of everything.
I was just wondering if it stayed right with the same vendor, or did we have to go out again?
No, we would
But,
stay.
no,
This
the-
has been
the work
publicly
that they-
procured.
It's short of a miracle what they did with those sinkholes.
Can you
'cause-
explain the unit cost basis, how that's all?
So this is
worked
all a
in?
unit cost-based contract, and this is how we've done this for several rounds. Because we don't know what the next sinkhole is, we don't know what the next house is that we're gonna have to demolish, so we bid it based on that cost, and then you just apply that cost times whatever that issue is. So whenever they bring a piece of equipment on site and they start running that piece of equipment, there's an hourly rate that's already done now. Before we did this, especially on the sinkhole side, they would then have to go find quotes or procure that, and the sinkhole's still there. And they're taking weeks and weeks and weeks. Now, we can respond, we can direct it, we can fix it, and we can move on. And so this has made it much more efficient in our response and repair. We utilize that on the code side as well. Sometimes we know a house is going to be demolished in a few months, we have time, but then there's emergencies that pop up, and we use this service as a tool to provide better service to the citizens, so.
Well, I heard nothing but positive out of the folks that were affected by the sinkhole on Singletree. Nothing but positive feedback from the crews that were working on that, and that was huge. We could have really lost a lot more than what we did.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Brent. Nick, you were ready to go. Thank you, too. Thank you, especially Andy, to your team that has gone above and beyond and keeping our community safe and mitigating these responses and communicating to the public that it directly affects and to the public at large as well what's happening. So thank you. All right. No further questions. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-139.
Municipal order authorizing the purchase of Titleist golf products for Crosswinds and Paul Walker golf courses and Hobson Golf Course and Driving Range through non-competitive negotiations with Titleist in an amount not to exceed $100,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Annually, we have to have the need for more merchandise in our golf pro shops, and Titleist is our #1 selling product. And we would like to do another year with Titleist. They're a division of Acushnet. I believe they have some other products, not besides golf balls, but golf balls are our #1 selling item. 60% of our pro shop sales come from the sale of golf balls. We would like to re-up with Titleist and do a not to exceed estimated amount of $100,000 for purchase of additional merchandise. Brent Belcher is here, can answer any of your questions on this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-140.
Municipal order authorizing the purchase of concessions for Russell Sims Aquatic Center through non-competitive negotiations with Performance Food Service in an amount up to $58,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
So the water park is, as I say, killing it. Last year, $20,000 increase in 20,000 increase in visitors. Overall revenue increase of $100,000. Concession sales generated over $120,000 in revenues. 36,000 transaction was a $35,000 increase from the prior season, and 2,000 more transactions. So we're coming to you tonight to request your approval to go with Performance Food Service to supply our food needs out at the Russell Sims Aquatic Center. And Brent Belcher can answer any questions you might have on this one, but Performance Food Services has a local warehouse where we can go get stuff when we need it on the spot. They also deliver to us and have been a really good partner when we need inventory. So Brent can answer any questions you might have on this one, but this would be $58,000 to use for the remaining portion of this season, I believe, and on into the July and August portions of the season.
Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-141.
Municipal order authorizing the purchase of replacement parts for the Public Works Department Fleet Division through non-competitive negotiations with various vendors in the total amount of $220,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill.
We do not have a huge warehouse where we can store car parts, auto parts, and so we do this contract here, non-competitive negotiations with Ken Smith Auto, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Advanced Auto, and Quality Auto Parts to supply fleet with what they need to fix our vehicles and equipment. And so we're asking for your approval. This is for the FY26 upcoming budget to okay this non-competitive negotiation, approximately $222,000 for the fleet division to be able to fix our vehicles and equipment. Andy Souza is here. Is Denise here? Okay, Andy's here, can answer any of your questions on this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-142.
Municipal order authorizing the purchase of fire apparatus replacement parts, warranty work, and factory recalls for the Public Works Department Fleet Division through a sole source from Atlantic Emergency Solutions in the amount of $55,000.
Second.
By Commissioner Harrell, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
As you know, most of our fire trucks are Pierce fire trucks, and they need specific parts. The authorized dealer for that is Atlantic Emergency Solutions, and we are asking for your approval to make them our sole source. This is a similar setup where when we need parts, we can call them up, order them up, they deliver. This amount is $55,000 for this one. Andy, again, is here, can answer your questions, as well as our two Deputy Chiefs of Fire, Deputy Chief Smith and Deputy Chief Morris. So ask any questions you like, but this is a similar situation where we can just order up parts from Atlantic Emergency Solutions for our fire apparatus.
Questions at this time? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-143.
Municipal order authorizing the purchase of tires with Best One Fleet Service of Bowling Green and Ziegler Tires and Supply Company in the total amount not to exceed $70,000 through cooperative purchase under Kentucky State Pricing Contract.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I think we're around 600 vehicles, Andy. 700, thank you. They all have tires on them, I think, too. So we are always in need of tires, and before you tonight is a state pricing contract with a couple of vendors. We use a lot of Bridgestone, Continental, and Goodyear tires, but we'd like your permission to do cooperative purchases through Best One Fleet and Ziegler Tire for the fleet division to be able to change out these tires. So ask for your approval on this, and Andy can answer your questions on this one.
Mr. Mizel, questions?
This, again, is for the upcoming fiscal year FY26.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-144.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of a grant application for funding through the fiscal year 2025 Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act program from the U.S. Department of Justice in an amount up to $200,000.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
This is a really good grant we would like to apply for the police department. There is no match required on this one. We could get up to 2 years of funding to expand our partnership with the Cop-Proof Wellness Program, which really helps with the hypervigilance, cumulative trauma effects of the job of law enforcement officers and dispatchers. We've got a good peer support team put together. Fire does as well, and but this would be a grant to help fund this peer support team and keep our officers and dispatchers in good health. I'd like to thank Jake Moore for working on this, and Nick Cook, and Police Chief Michael Delaney is here, can answer any of your questions on this one, but ask for your approval.
Mizel, Chief, team, thank you for being here. Questions at this time?
I'm glad that we have a chief of police and a chief also, in the fire department that understands that when we have our staff and their mental health is basically important. And when they basically get the help that they need, we know that it makes them a better public servant, to our overall city. So thank you guys for implementing this.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask Chief Delaney if he would want to come up and just talk about this program and how incredible it is. I know it's just been such a positive impact on our police department and also our fire department. I don't know if one of you all want to talk about how it's been a positive impact on you all, but it's just such a great program. So if the opportunity to talk about it, I think it's a good idea.
Thank you for the opportunity to come before you tonight. This is a great program. It was first started by the generosity of Living Hope after the tornadoes. They came to us and asked if we had a need, and we had known the need for peer support, but trying to find the funding to get the program up and going. The first year it was paid for by Living Hope, and since then we've continued the program on. It's grown, providing that mental wellness and that support for officers and their families and dispatchers that experience trauma daily. And we've learned that officers and dispatchers reach a point where they have a burnout because they're not allowed to express those emotions and get help and the care that they need. We have a amazing clinician on board with us now, Cindy Lemon, who has stepped in and is really taking the program to a whole nother level. She's on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and she'll come in anytime that you need her to help with incidents, trauma related, anything that's going on with the police department or our dispatchers. So it's really been a blessing to us to have this program and hopefully extend the lives of our police officers and dispatchers.
Jake, thank you for funding that, for funding this grant.
That was all Cindy, the chief.
Oh, thank everybody, Dan.
Absolutely. No further questions. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Thanks, Brian. Municipal order number 2025-145.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of a grant application for funding through the 2024 Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Responses Grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in an amount up to $1,827,304.19.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This is a familiar grant. We call it SAFER, and it's to get us additional firefighters. We have received it, I think, once or twice. Once over the years, back during COVID, I think, or before COVID, when there was not as much competition probably back then, but there is a lot of competition now. And we are wanting to submit for 9 additional firefighters. What we would do with those 9 is we would put a 4th man on 3 trucks, engines 4, 6, and 7. Those currently run with 3 men and 3 persons, 3 men or women, and it needs to be 4 if we can get there. And so this grant would be really big if we could get it. It only requires a 25% match for the first 2 years from the city, and then in the 3rd year it goes to a 65% match. But the total cost to the city, if this grant was awarded, would be $1.135 million for the matches, but the total project cost that we'd be able to cover is roughly $2.9 million for 3 years on those 9 additional firefighters. So we're hoping to get a good run on this one. Hopefully we'll have some success this time, but the purpose of this one would be to put that 4th person, a man or woman, on the 3 engines at Station 4, which is West Side, and Station 6, which is Greenwood, Station 7, which is Lover's Lane. Chiefs are here. Elise is here, can answer any of your questions on this, as well as Nick Cook and Jake, but ask for your support.
Commissioners?
Would you all just take a moment to explain to the public, why the 3 to 4, how that helps us, do rescue and medical and fire rescue?
Absolutely. We're working to get towards NFPA 1710 guidelines. 4-person staffing on our apparatus makes us safer. There are some studies from UL Laboratories that show how much faster we can work when we have 4 people on an apparatus instead of just 3. And that NFPA regulation really highlights that. We've been chasing this for the last few years. The SAFER grant is a wonderful opportunity. In the past, it's been a 100% grant, and now this year, with it dropping down to the municipalities having to have some skin in the game also, although that requires a little bit more input from us as the city, we believe that that will make it a little bit more competitive and hopefully give us an advantage in that respect. So this is something that we've requested the last few years from the federal government. Did get funded one time when we opened Station 7. And so we're hopeful again that we can get there. It makes us more effective and it makes it safer for our firefighters and also for the public that we serve.
Much.
Thank you, Chief Smith. Further questions? None. Roll call.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-146.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of a grant application for funding through the 2024 Fire Prevention and Safety Program from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in an amount up to $43,333.33.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
By the way, I didn't mention that the 2024 year is correct. It's just the federal government is slow in issuing that money, I believe. So there's 3 of those that show the 2024. But anyway, this is another one, though, one of those. Fire Prevention and Safety Grant Program. This one would provide us with some inflatables for public education, 4-room safety house, to train people how to use fire extinguishers, smoke detector use, exit drills. There'd also be an inflatable slide to be used in conjunction with the safety house, and a trailer to store all of these items in it. This one is only a 5% local match, so roughly $2,100 would cover us and get us $45,000 for this equipment to go out and teach the public and youngsters on fire prevention, that sort of thing. So again, the chiefs are here, deputy chiefs are here, Lisa's here, Nick and Jake can answer any of your questions on this one.
Mr. Mizel, questions?
So when I was reading this memo about this looks amazing, educational apparatus, but all I can imagine is a bouncy house with sprinklers, and I cannot envision it. So can you kind of explain how an inflatable can do all these educational things?
Be accurate, it's kind of a bouncy house.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, but it's more than that. It's designed to showcase fire prevention. You know, we don't just respond to emergencies. Community risk reduction is a big part of what we do. We want to prevent fires before we have to respond to those. So the inflatable house, all the tools that he's talking about are all geared towards adolescents, children, to teach basic fire safety. So we reach thousands of our citizens a year doing our fire prevention messages, and using these tools is just another way for us to enhance our availability and our visibility to our citizens. So you're not wrong in the way you're describing it. There's much more to it than that. Be happy to show you pictures and videos of what we're talking about.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief, thank you guys for even having this, because we know the first person that can save yourself is yourself. So having the risk reduction and the prevention and helping out adolescents and helping out the families is going to be something that if they can save themselves, and we're thankful all our first responders, but if you can help yourself before they get there, we know that could be a life that can still be here. So thank you guys for even offering this to our community, because it could teach people who may not know. There be things that even myself may not know that we can learn from. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Chief Morris. Okay. No further questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-147.
Municipal order authorizing the submission and acceptance of a grant with the Federal Transit Administration for federal fiscal year 2024 transportation assistance under the Section 5307 and 5339 programs, and further approving state matching funds.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
We receive this federal money, 5307, 5339 transit funds roughly each year. And so we're at that point again now, looking at $2,034,791 for operating capital assistance, and then another $123,064 for capital. The breakdown on these as far as match goes is in your memo. 50% local match required for operating, 20% required for capital. We have the funds budgeted in the general fund for the match, but then the state also kicks in money for the match, and then they've given us $297,555,000 for the capital part. So thanks to Nick and Jake for working on this one. I'd like to recognize also Tim McWhorter, our transit manager. He's in the audience with us tonight. Thank you, Tim, for all the work you do for our transit program. Hopefully this will help keep it going, and ask for your approval.
Mr. Mizel, questions at this time?
Brent, I noticed this was a formula grant, but I'm curious if the funding is flat, or has it increased, or is this, pretty similar to what we typically receive?
Well, it is
Okay.
a formula, but it's not a formula that we know or they share with us or anything like that. But it is a little up. Also, we've seen, so the last several years of transit funding has been a little bit different with the ARA money and then the original stimulus money that came through. So that allowed us to put back quite a bit of money for capital purposes. And so we got the renovation complete. We're getting new office furniture. So in July, we'll have a ground ribbon cutting for the new building. And then this fall, we will have, that's the plan, to have new buses delivered. And so we've been using some of that backlog of capital from those years to purchase new assets. So now we're kind of back into the rhythm of the funding, but this is kind of on par with a slight increase of prior year funding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brent. Further questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-9, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance annexing right-of-way by consent. Ordinance annexing a total of approximately 7.09 acres of right-of-way located on Freeport Road with property presently owned by Warren County, with said territory being contiguous to existing city limits.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Well, can remember, we took in the Freeport Road up north of the Transpark a couple years ago. We annexed that land for the road. This here is just a tiny strip of land on the north side of Freeport Road that we need to go ahead and annex to make it part of it. And so this is voluntary, and roughly 7 acres when you measure out the tiny string along the road on the north side. But there's a map in your packets that shows that, but ask for your approval on this one.
Questions? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-10, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance annexing property by consent. Ordinance annexing a total of approximately 0.5117 acre of property located at 0 Old Barren River Road with property presently owned by Covington Farms Development LLC, with said territory being contiguous to existing city limits.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This is another voluntary annexation, a piece of property out on Old Barren River Road. Part of it was already in the city limits, annexed, and part of it wasn't, roughly half an acre. They're asking to go ahead and pick up that remaining half and annex that into the city. And be glad to answer any question on this one, but ask for your approval as well.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-148.
Municipal order approving amendments to the City of Bowling Green Manual of Purchasing Policies and Procedures.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Time to time, we keep our purchasing policy procedures manual, try to keep it up to date as much as possible. I'm going to ask Katie to give you the highlights of these revisions proposed. Katie?
There's three main components to this particular amendment that we're doing, and we do review this regularly, and I think our last review was about a year ago, or actually back in December with some state law changes. But this particular amendment, the more significant changes are highlighted in the memo. First of all, what we would like to do, based on some research that our procurement manager, Megan Van Meter, has completed, finding out what other cities are doing so that we can be comparable, and also looking at best practices. So one of the items that we have is to approve the dollar threshold, increase that for the Board of Commissioners to over $75,000. So anything below that and up to $75,000 would be either the procurement manager and or the city manager, depending on the level. And then the other couple of items, we are updating some of our purchase order exemption. We consolidated some items on the list, updated some of the language where things have changed through the years. And then we also are looking at adjusting the approval threshold on purchasing justification forms for the city attorney from $5,000 up to $40,000. $40,000 is the bid requirement level by state statute, and we were just trying to do that. Most of the items we have below $40,000 are pretty routine, and if there are any issues, the procurement manager would certainly reach out to the city attorney. But for the most part, it doesn't make sense for Hillary to have to approve, 20 of these in a day, because there are so many that come through at $5,000 and up to $40,000. So we wanted to kind of give her a break. And then also a little bit more pressure, unfortunately, on the city manager. However, that would reduce a few of the items that have to come before you. All such items would be included in the budget, more than likely. And so if things do exceed that $75,000 limit, then we would bring that before the board. So as an example, there's 3 items on this agenda that are purchasing related that would have fallen under that threshold. So 3 less items that you'd have to consider. But we would certainly bring anything forward that you would want for us to bring forward.
Thank you, Katie. Just a comment. It's not as we're not approving them, we are approving the budget, and we have a line item of all items in the budget. Yes. So, and we were able to make input to that, and we're part of that process, and we are grateful for the information you provide publicly that's been put out to our community, the videos that came along. We're gonna talk about the second round of the budget in just a minute, but these are proposed items that are not being, they are for public scrutiny and for open records. And
absolutely.
It's just an understanding. I realize that as the budget has gone up tremendously, so has the cost of a lot of items that we need on a regular basis.
This will ultimately help departments be more efficient and to get the items that they need more quickly, and we're not stopping any of the other processes. They still have to provide the appropriate quotes. They still have to provide the appropriate explanation for all these purchases. So none of that has changed. It's just the approval level that we're looking at.
Further comments, questions?
And just one question, Katie. You said that this is also a standard practice.
It is, yeah. We're actually a little bit different from some of the other communities that are comparable to our size. They actually, once they approve it in the budget, it doesn't have to go back before the board. But we felt it was still very important that you be involved in the process for the higher costing items. But it was comparable. So we definitely want to have best practices, want you to include, obviously, those additional levels of approval. And it used to be $25,000, and as things cost so much more than that now, it just doesn't make sense to maintain what we've been doing currently and just kind of increase that amount. Again, we're not looking to change this on a regular basis. This would be, every so often we want to look at that again and see where we stand.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Further questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-149.
Municipal order approving appropriations for specified eligible agencies for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
So as part of your FY26 budget, we presented these 10 agencies. We call them contract agencies. They provide services for our community that we otherwise could not fulfill as a city. And so those 10, I'll run through them real quick. The Economic Development Authority, Human Rights Commission, Drug Task Force, Humane Society, Regional Airport, Welfare Center, and then our Planning Commission, Hobson House Commission, and then Operation Pride, and then our match for United Way of Southern Kentucky, or the 211 service. $1,259,000 is what this totals up to in your budget, and we usually pay these out quarterly. So what's before you tonight is municipal order for the upcoming FY26 budget to get your approval to start the quarterly appropriations for these agencies that are in the budget that you'll be taking a second reading on. So these are the annual amounts. We'll start quarterly payments in the next couple months with the FY26 budget, and we ask for your approval. I think we've got several out there, representatives from the agencies receiving these funds, and so I'd like to thank them for coming tonight, and be glad to answer your all's questions if you have any.
Yes.
If I may, I appreciate these agencies being here as well. I would like for them to introduce themselves because I think it's important for our city to see that these agencies are here and willing to take time, because this isn't an automatic. So if you don't mind, if the agencies will come up and say who you're with.
I agree with you, Melinda, it's great. And I think Tommy Loving was here last week.
He was here last
From
meeting.
the Drug Task Force.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. Susan Harmon, Airport Manager, Warren County Regional Airport.
Thank you.
Good evening. Meredith Brzezinski, here on behalf of the Bowling Green Area Economic Development Authority.
Alice Gatewood Waddell, Bowling Green Human Rights Commission, and I'd like to say thank you for your support over the years, and we look forward to our continuous work with y'all.
Ben Peterson, Executive Director of the City County Planning Commission, and we also thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. I know there are other things you'd rather be doing tonight, but thank you. It means a lot seeing you here.
All right. Any further questions? Thank you, agencies. We look forward to another great year with you. Roll call, please.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-150.
Municipal order authorizing the Housing Authority of Bowling Green to retain the city's portion of the payment in lieu of taxes for the 2024 tax year in the total amount of $33,803.73.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, seconded by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
For as long as I can remember, which is roughly 23 years, we have been allowing Housing Authority to retain their payment in lieu of tax payment. Their Housing Authority units are not on the tax roll, but yet many decades ago there was an agreement, payment in lieu of tax agreement, for them to pay us basically equivalent of property tax. And there's 598 units in the Housing Authority. And so before you tonight is another annual request to allow them to retain. They've requested to retain the 2024 amount of $33,803 to use for after-school programming, which I think has done, it's, as the commercial says, it's priceless. I don't know that you can put a price tag on it. So what they do after school to help kids with their homework and their studies, transforming them into productive adults, and they do a tremendous job, and I'd like to thank them for that long-standing program that's been very successful. And then Mr. Abraham Williams was a big part of that, and now Miss Katie Miller is going to carry that on. So that's all I've got, but ask for your support to allow Housing Authority to retain the $33,803 payment in lieu of tax agreement.
Katie, you know how I felt about Abraham Williams and stuff, and I know we have something on the agenda, which I'll speak to that later. But I come from over in that area, and we know sometimes the foundation is always something that helps out. You guys don't just give them an after-school program. You expose them sometimes when you give them through trips that they may not necessarily take. And I think sometimes that exposure can allow a kid to see what they possibly can be. And to be able to give them a foundation in that, it allows them to dream bigger than they may have even dreamed. So having that at the Housing Authority is huge, and I appreciate everyone that's been a part of that because it changes lives.
Just through my work in the schools, a family resource, I've got a kid at the school who's falling behind or just needs that extra support. Maybe parents are working second shift and home alone. I'm looking, what's their address? Where do they live? And I am so relieved if they have an address in the Housing Authority, because I know the incredible after-school programming and summer programs that you all have for our youth and our young people to be able to do after-school homework help, the field trips that you all do, and just like Commissioner Carlos said, exposing them to these amazing career pathways or just the support they need on a daily basis. So thank you all so much for being such a bright, positive light for all the kids and youth in that community.
Katie, thanks for being here. We'll see you in just a moment. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-11, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance relating to budget amendment. Ordinance approving amendment number 4 to the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky annual operating budget for fiscal year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Packets is a really good summary of the budget number 4 from Aaron Ballou, Assistant Chief Financial Officer, and Katie Schaller Ward, our Assistant City Manager, CFO. In this fourth amendment, you'll see some donations that we need to get revised in the budget. You'll see the transfers out from the general fund to capital funds and healthcare fund here at the end of the year that we think we're comfortable with doing to use for capital projects going forward and to shore up our healthcare fund. And then you'll see the FTA grants that we approved just a few minutes ago, the 2.4 added in here, and then some miscellaneous items like the training simulator at the police department, different things with the withholdings, some extra revenues that we're moving to the Parks Development Fund for capital. Workforce development initiatives, you all remember the Refuge BG match that you all approved to do. That's in here. The contract with HDR for the corridor identification development program is in here for the $52,000. And lots of donations we picked up for the 501c3 Better BG. We had to incorporate those, but most of this is pretty self-explanatory. Katie can answer any questions you might have on this one, but this is our first reading of our fourth and hopefully final budget amendment for FY25.
Thank you, Jeff. Commissioners? Okay. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-12, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance renaming street. Ordinance approving the renaming of White Court to Abraham Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
come up and tell us about this one? This was coming from you all, so I'll let you have it.
Yeah, so I'm Katie Miller, the Housing Authority of Bowling Green. So we were trying to figure out ways to honor Abraham Williams. We all know who Abraham is. He and I had conversations. Don't let everybody start naming stuff after me after I leave the city or I pass away. And I said, okay, Abraham. But I got with the staff and we felt the way to honor him was to rename the court that pulls into our offices. So there's no addresses tied to it. There's nothing that has to be changed. But it pulls right into our office and it's Abraham Avenue. I wanted Abraham Way, but but the way the direction of the street, it can only be an avenue. So that's what we went with. But it's just a way of honoring him, the residents, the staff that were there that see it every day. So that was just our way.
You're absolutely 100% right. I know Abraham, and I always love being around Abraham because I'm vertically challenged, but being around him.
We're tall.
Yes. But even though that, he was such a giant in our community and had big shoes to fill. But you're absolutely right. He'd be like, "Oh, Katie, don't name it Abraham Avenue." Yeah. But then he'd be like, "But why didn't you call it Abraham Williams Avenue?" So
Probably.
I know he'd probably been like, "Why wouldn't you do that?" But I know if him looking down, he would be honored to have, because he had such an impact. Even though he was here since the late '90s. He has such a huge impact on Bowling Green, Kentucky, and on a lot of people that grew up here, including myself. So I know he would be honored, and it's such an honor as a city commissioner to even be able to vote on this. So thank you for doing this.
Hey, you're welcome. It's just a small way.
Go ahead. Are you all thinking of having some sort of a ribbon cutting or celebration or somehow or another bringing the community to?
We are, in the same token, the subdivision that's just adjacent to our learning center is named after him as well. It's going to be called Williams Estates. So we're thinking we're going to do something together with the two if we can. So yes.
We'll look forward to celebrating.
Thank you.
I just want to add my memories with Mr. Williams and what an incredible mentor he was to me and just so many people in our community. And I'm just so grateful that we have this moment to honor him and his legacy. Just thinking about how, it didn't matter if you're a millionaire or someone who was living on the streets, he would connect with you and get you roped in to whatever idea he had to make our community better. There was not a project or a problem that was too big that he could not pull our community together and work together, no matter our differences, to solve and make our community better. And I know we all miss him so much, and we are all working every day to make sure we're living into his legacy of coming together and making the world a better place for our kids and just for our city of Bowling Green. So thank you so much for giving us opportunities to do that and continue to honor him.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks.
Mrs. Humer, the most. Miss him. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Before I vote here, I can hear him just say yes. So yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, Abraham. Ordinance number BG 2025-13, first reading, non-binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 17 Personnel Policies to remove Subchapter 17-4 Workforce Recruitment and Outreach Committee of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances.
Second.
By Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Dana Beasley Brown. This is an item that I'm presenting to the board tonight. I've asked for input for this. We've had a workforce development board, and I don't lightly recommend a board to dissolve unless I have invested the time and the energy to understand if that board is effective. One of the commissioners I will shout out to is sitting to my right. That's Carlos Bailey. He has served on this board, and he's come to me and offered suggestions, and we worked through this and for an outcome that we think is a better outcome than the board that was currently serving. That was the Workforce Recruitment and Outreach Committee, which really was specifically to reach out to minorities and recruit within our community diversity, for our city. And so this board did a great job for several years, and then it was really spinning its wheels at the point where they were just getting information but not really able to take that information and do anything with it. So we actually hired a third-party consultant to review and ask and take questions. That was Terry Daniels. He presented that report. I've gone to and taken this out to the community a little bit, and I've been able to say I will continue to talk to the community, but I was asking for suggestions, and the suggestion is that we replace this with a roundtable. And the roundtable is an event that will happen twice a year within our city. It will invite community partners to the roundtable to participate in helping us understand workforce recruitment and taking our message out for the jobs that we're recruiting for within our city. And I asked a specific question, and I said, hey, is this, who's invited to this? And I got a long list, and I said, is this an exclusive list? And the answer was no. That can grow as we see that we have more people investing in our city, corporate sponsors in our city. We have more new companies that are growing with our city, and we have a lot of great nonprofits that do incredible work. They will be able to offer us insight and be part of this roundtable. And so I'm excited to take this to the next step, which I think is the right thing for our city, because we are leading in so many ways, and why not workforce recruitment for our community? So without that being said, I can take questions for this, and also thank the commissioners for walking along with me. I want a special shout out to Ryan Dearbone. He has worked with us and tried to understand what we're doing, and he has said that he will support us. And I've also offered that I will go out to the community and advocate for this and explain what we're doing as a city.
Mayor, I got to personally thank you, because when this came to dissolve the board, and the board was on there for a while, for at least 2 years, it had spun its wheels, and it wasn't doing, it was a great idea when it first started, but it didn't do exactly what it was designed to do. When I read this and it says, we remain committed to fostering an environment where every voice is valued, I appreciate that, because when I talked with the mayor, because initially it was like, we're going to dissolve this, him and I got together first, and we talked about this first. And him and I was like, he even told me, like, the mayor said, what can we do to make this, where it's not just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We first spoke, and the mayor's modest about like how many meetings we actually had, because we first spoke and we had Dr. Sales that was there. Later on then, Dr. Daniels would come along and write something. Then the mayor and I would speak every now and then privately about it and kind of figure out like what's going on. And we talked about like bringing Ryan Dearbone from the NAACP involved. One of the reasons why that was the occasion is because back in the day, I'm not sure the reason why they had it, but the NAACP had a table. They were at the table to make decisions. And for whatever reason, it changed. And then we end up getting the workforce. We have a board that we have currently that's about to change. But with that, it's a commitment to foster an environment where every voice is valued. And Bowling Green, that for me, that's important. I don't care what background you come from or anything. It's basically making sure that our city is more reflective and stuff. And I believe that's a great thing, and it's a strong thing. And Mayor, thank you for listening and being there. I think that this is also a fair thing to start it. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Further questions or comments?
I'm also excited about this roundtable. I mean, I just think about, the next Penny Bowles or Mike Delaney or Leda Becker or Angela McCarley. I mean, just all the folks we know that are just our best and brightest. The next of them are just, out there in our city, but may not know how to find out about the jobs that are open. And with this initiative, the whole goal is to make sure our opportunities are being, put in front of, and everyone's get the opportunity to learn about these positions and compete for those positions. And so I just think it's such a great thing for our city when we know that everyone's getting the same access and the opportunities to become a part of this incredible Bowling Green family. And so I'm just grateful for Erin Hulsey with the HR department thinking through, what is this next phase, and the mayor and Commissioner Bailey all working together, and I'm just excited about this next phase.
All, no further questions. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number, municipal order number 2025-151.
Municipal order approving the appointment of Sasha Mandrapa and reappointments of Tim Nip and Leon Volkert to the Bowling Green Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, seconded by Commissioner Hill. This actually has two members to continue service. One member finished the service from his dad, and that was John Hughes, and did an incredible job. And I just want to say thank you to John for his service. However, I'm still always looking for new opportunities, and Sasha, you may know, runs some incredible restaurants in our community, and I think will be a great contributing member to the Convention Visitors Bureau and represent the restaurant community. And he has several restaurants within our community, and I think he'll make it a great addition to this board, as many would, and John did as well. But I'm making this recommendation for continuation for this board. All right. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-152.
Municipal order approving the appointments of Ben Bruni and Keenan McConovich to the City of Bowling Green Code Enforcement and Nuisance Board.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. These are two members that are currently serving as alternate members on the Code Enforcement Board. And they've been coming to meetings, they've been learning, about one of the toughest boards that we have, and that is code enforcement within our community, telling the community members code violations necessarily don't go public, but everybody expects our community to stay intact. I want to thank the current, the members that have served on that as well, but we're trying to get some new members of our community to serve, and Ben and Keenan are ready for this, and make the recommendation to this board as full-time members. Okay, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2025-153.
Municipal order approving the appointment of Donna Harmon to the Bowling Green Municipal Utilities Board.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Donna has served our city in several boards, and I believe she'll be good continuity to serve as the BGMU board. I know Carrie Taylor served, and she enjoyed serving on that board, and I asked for a short list of people that would be recommended, and we went through several candidates, and a lot of people were busy in our community, but Donna has served and retired with Trace Diecast, and she's served as Chief Financial Officer for them for 17 years, graduate from WKU, and she would like to continue service, and she was honored to be able to have this ability to continue to serve for BGMU board. Okay, make her recommendation. Questions? All right, roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-7, second reading, binding.
Ordinance adopting annual city budget. Ordinance adopting the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky annual operating budget for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 by estimating revenues and appropriating funds for the operation of city government.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. This is a second reading. It was a 5-0 from our commissioners. Largest budget in history. Incredible budget, something for everybody in this. Further questions, comments? Commissioners, this is your time.
I'll say thank you. Excellent job. And the video is out there on our website for any citizen to be able to digest that in very easy segments. It's very good. Thank you.
I want to note, it's a balanced budget. It's not borrowing money. It's, we've actually seen our debt go down. It's a fiscally responsible budget. It adds more police officers, it adds more firefighters, it gets us more parks, it gets us more roads, it gets us more greenways. It even gets us some bus stops for our beautiful city. All right. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Ordinance number BG 2025-8, second reading, binding.
Ordinance relating to classification pay schedules. Ordinance amending the classification pay schedules: G for general classified, F for fire, P for police, D for department head/management, and U for unclassified part-time employees, and authorizing pay increases for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. This was a 5-0 at our last BOC. Any further questions or comments? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. All right. As we're checking for public comments at this time, our next meeting, we'll announce, is July 1st, 2025, right here in our Board of Commissioners chamber at 4:30 p.m. We don't have any comments at this time. We're going to go to closed session. Thank you.